Hey, what's up? It's your girl TC back with another video according to a black girl, and that black girl is me. So, yeah, we're gonna get into it. And like I always say, I'm coming to share my experiences, not only about travel and the corporate world, but just my everyday experiences, day to day, and how I live as a black girl. According to who? Me. Yep, that's right. Me. According to me. All the things that I talk about are subjective. So you can agree or disagree. Either way, it doesn't matter. These are my experiences. They're according to me. And we're going to get into it. So I like talking about friendships, relationships, and things like that because that's where I like have my experiences is experience. That's what I have my experiences in. I've dealt with different type of people. I've dealt with different type of relationships, and yeah. So today I wanted to kind of touch on complicated relationships, whether it's a platonic friendship, a best friend relationship, a coworker relationship, ex-boyfriends. We'll get into that because, listen, ex-boyfriends just do the most these days. And shout out to my ex-boyfriend. He was a decent ex-boyfriend, but he was trash. And I mean that from the bottom of my soul that he was trash. Because he was trash. But I hope he's doing well in life, and I hope he's enjoying his new girlfriend, and I hope he's thriving and not stalking me still. Because when you send multiple emails and multiple text messages and I don't respond, that's harassment. Just FYI. So yeah, all that to say, complicated relationships are as clear as mud. They're complicated. I want to take some time and talk about my platonic friend that I have. He and I, well, I would say platonic kind of because we kind of, you know, went beyond friends at one point and we shouldn't have. But he's still really amazing to me, and I'm glad that he's amazing to me. But our friendship is complicated, is what I'll say, because we still. One thing about him and I is we went to high school together, and he's one of, you always have that one person that kind of comes back into your life all the time. He's that person for me. Like, our chemistry is undeniably amazing, and he feels the same way about me as I feel about him. We still have a certain love for each other, a certain adoration for each other, and we often, like, when I got in a relationship, he got in a relationship, so we were so super respectful of each other's situation, and we kept it real surface level when we talked and connected and stuff like that. And one thing I appreciate about him is he's so very honest with me, and he tells me like it is. I love him because of the things that when I go through them, I feel like he understands everything that I goes through, because I feel like he goes through something so similar to what I go through. And I always joke with him and I tell him we're soulmates. And I truly believe he and I are soulmates. Like, I told him that when we were in our situationship, like, we're soulmates because we had so much commonality, down to how we were turning and twisting our phone. There are some things that obviously that we don't have the commonality about, but he and I, we have so much commonality. But I adore him and I love him, and I understand that we have one of those complicated platonic relationships. But he's great, and I will probably call him after I record this video and tell him that I talked about him on this video, because we're still good friends, and we were leaning heavily on each other after our breakups because we both had breakups around the same time, believe it or not. And we expressed to each other. It's so funny because we dated the same type of people. Like I told him about the type of person that I was dating, and it was a similar person that he was dating. So again, we experienced, like, we are truly. I don't think him and I are soulmates. I think him and I are twin flames. Like, seriously, we legit are the same type of people. Period. That's just. I love our relationship though. But complicated relationships don't just happen to be relationships. They could be best friends and coworkers. But they become complicated because of entities. And I'm going to touch on my friend and I because this is the best example I can give. Our friendship was complicated because we had sex. It was great, but we took it there. I often feel like we shouldn't have. And I'm so giddy about this dude. It's so funny, but he always says, I'm glad we took it there. And I'm like, no, because like it ruined our friendship. And he's like, we're still friends. And I'm like, yeah, that's true, but it's not the same friendship that we had before. But it just got messy because feelings and intimacy was involved, and I was long distance, blah blah blah, all that drama. And I didn't want to come to terms that he didn't want to be in a relationship, so that happened. And yeah, I got in a relationship after him, which is my current ex-boyfriend, which is a great segue into boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, and their complicated relationships. Um, Exes are interesting. I think that if your ex has moved on and is happy in their relationship and, content with their relationship and really in love, not necessarily in love, but like honestly like the person that they're dealing with, I don't think they would be reaching out to their ex, but that's just my personal opinion about it. I don't know, like, for certain because I'm not a dude, but when I get into a relationship, I invest my time and my energy into the person that I'm in a relationship with. So yeah, I get really intrigued when exes reach out to me after they told me they had a girlfriend. It's just, to me, that's a complicated relationship, and it's disrespectful as fuck. Like, why would you be reaching out to your ex? I don't know. People, it's just weird to me. Like, I don't condone it, but some may, some may think, like, especially I think if you've ended things amicably. I may not be saying that properly. Amicable. If you ended on an amicable terms, if you've ended on amicable terms, then by all means, if y'all both agreed on that friendship, yes, great. But if you did some fuck shit like my ex did, you shouldn't be reaching out trying to be friends with your ex. That's just my personal opinion. But it could also be, like I said, best friends. They could be a complicated relationship. I know me and my friends, we fell out a couple times, got back together, and then come back together. But I think we're grown enough where we could, I was going to say we can discuss our differences. I think I'm grown enough to discuss some things that I've done and talk through some things that I've done and admit it when I'm wrong. Not all of my friends can do that, which you know who you are, but we'll work on that. That's why we're friends. Yeah, that piece, and also, I said best friends. I said ex boyfriends. Did I say coworkers? Um, it could be complicated with coworkers too. I had coworkers that I was super cool with, and they were actually like under me, like not under me, but like they reported to me. They were my direct reports. Um, and my problem is they were really great workers. But people see that. People see that you kind of, I try not to favor people, but when you have a good worker, you have a good worker, and you tend to lean on that good worker often, more times than none. And I think that was that where I would lean on my good friend because she was a great worker. But it would cause kind of a rift, and people would kind of notice that interaction, and they would get jealous, and they would not come to me anymore, but they would go to my boss or my boss's boss and complain and say that I was playing favorites. So I realized that I had to kind of tone it down and not be the friend at work and be the boss at work, which sucks, but you do what you have to do to try to be as politically correct as you could at work. But I was never disrespectful to my friend, and actually, my friend found a new job. Thank goodness, because now we can just kiki and have a good time outside of work and not worry about somebody catching us kicking it together. And I have a new friend at work. She's really amazing, and I call her a friend because of the encouragement that I received from her, which you don't often receive encouragement from people. But when you find somebody that's like super true and consistent, you just kind of want to keep them around. And that's what it is with this person at work. So, yeah, things haven't like gotten super complex or complicated with this person, but I'm sure it's coming. So I try not to favor them. I say certain things jokingly to them, and they always know I'm joking. But we keep it really surface level at work, and when we chop it up on the phone, it's a good time always. And then when we're with each other, we just chop it up. It's a good time. But yeah. Um, Complicated relationships are just that, they're complicated, but sometimes they're easy to work through depending on who you're dealing with and the person that you're dealing with, because again, it's not always going to be an easy situation. That's why they're complicated relationships. I'm glad that my guy friend that I talked about earlier in the video, I'm glad he and I fell out, and had our words and had our emotions. Now, 4 years later, even in between the 4 years, he and I were still like speaking and being super cordial with each other. So I appreciate when complexity comes to simplicity. But again, I still feel like our relationship is complex because we talk and we see each other on video chat, but we feel like we feel like we can't see each other in real life because of our feelings. We still have those feelings for each other. It's so funny. We still have feelings. It's funny, but it's true. But relationships change, things change, your beliefs change, your views change, your thought process change. Everything changes as you get older, and I think that's why he and I are a good example to talk about, because we went years, a couple of years, not too many years, without discussing and talking to each other or reaching out and we were able to come back together and joke and laugh about some of the things that happened and transpired between the two of us. And I think me and my best friends do the same thing. There are situations where we get mad at each other, but we always come back together to laugh and joke and talk about those things. Family is another one that shit can get complex with too, but that's family. You can't change who your family is, right? But you can always talk and work through those situations. I think that is it for today. I want to send a special shout out to my friends, my special friend. He know who he is. I'm gonna give him a shout out because legit, I have been going through like it, and he has been helping me through it. So shout out to you. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you do for me. I appreciate you picking up the phone and listening to me and staying on the phone with me for 3 hours at a time. Oh my God, you are so amazing. You are so great, because who stays on the phone with a platonic friend? I say platonic. Who stays on the phone with a friend for 2 hours, 3 hours? And we can do longer, but I just be like, we've been on the phone for 2 hours. We need to get off the phone. We need to be productive today. So yeah, adore you. I thank you for everything that you've done, and keep being great. And you got this. You'll make somebody a wonderful wife someday, and you'll be a great husband. So thanks for your support with everything that I've been going through. I hope everybody is having a lovely, beautiful day. Thank you all for watching, and leave a comment if you have a complex, complicated relationship with family, friends, co-workers, ex-boyfriends. That could be a thing. But yeah, leave a comment. Tell me about it. I want to hear about your complicated relationship. Yeah, but I hope I'm not going to hope. I know it's a beautiful day wherever you are. So have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your week. And thank you for watching. And happy 2021 to you good people out there in these streets.